Welcome to Inside the Studio, KFIZ at 100. Conversations with some of the station's biggest and brightest all-time personalities. I'm your host, former KFIZ Program Director, Sean Kaiser. We begin this series by featuring the longest-serving member of the KFIZ family, Joe Gazer, who spent parts of 6 decades at the station. Joining us to look back at his legendary career is Joe's son, Pete Gazer, who says his dad knew at an early age what he wanted to do in life.
I had an opportunity when I was a young guy to see a thesis my dad wrote at Roosevelt Junior High School, that in 9th grade he said that he wanted to be in radio and that he wanted to be a big fish in a small pond. And I said, pretty much, Dad did exactly what he said he wanted to do way back in 9th grade.
After graduating high school in 1944, Joe started at KFIZ at the age of just 18 and stayed plenty busy juggling multiple duties.
I don't know how many hours he worked because he worked the early morning shift and then go off to do football games, basketball games, get home at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and back at the station at 4:35 in the morning.
Joe loved to have fun on the air, developing and then personally portraying several different characters throughout the years.
I guess he said I better have something Spanish. Let's go with Jose Gazerio. And, Fenwick Fluky had to be a real dandy. Josh Crunchmeyer was just a German name for Josh Crunchmeyer Band, playing polka. A lot of farmers loved it. They loved it. They milked the damn cows with the polka.
The most famous of those alter egos was definitely Josh Crunchmeyer. His show aired midday on Saturdays and was so popular, people would time their lunch breaks around it so they'd be free to listen. Because you never knew what old Josh might say or do next.
The thing that really got funny was he was going to take a bus tour, and you could sign up for a bus tour through the Holy Lands here. And the next thing you know, they had people from St. Peter, Mount Calvary, St. Cloud, all signing up for the bus tour, $39. They had all these checks and they had to return them all because there was going to be no bus tour. They just had fun.
Over the years, Joe would receive offers to work in bigger markets, but he never left his hometown of Fond du Lac.
I think the number one issue was he liked exactly what he was doing and the people he worked with. And those guys all had a good time together. And everybody had a personality. Everybody had their following.
As for his dad's finest moment on air, Pete says it was calling a boys' basketball game between St. Mary's Springs and Appleton Xavier, a contest which saw Springs and Xavier's 54-game winning streak. Audio from that historic matchup recently surfaced. Here's Joe Gazer on the final call. Joe Gazer, one of the best to ever crack open a microphone. Thanks for joining us, and keep listening for more episodes of Inside the Studio, KFIZ at 100.